Okay. Okay, we are live now. Good morning, Coach. Good
Good
morning,
morning, bro.
viewers. My name
How
is
are you?
Oladipo for Jude Misole. Um, yeah, yeah. I want to appreciate you, Coach, for making time out to join us for our first live show. And I also want to appreciate you for all you've done to make this channel come this far to be able to host this first live show. Thank you for all your support, the ones on scene and the ones behind the scene. We really appreciate you, and we are not taking it for granted. So this
No,
morning we
no, no
just
worries. In my
want to
opinion,
look
here's the
at
thing. It's something we're all doing for the club we love. We want to grow the fan base, and one way to do that is to be selfless, help each other, broaden the reach of the club. Because the truth remains, the content creators are the one reaching the fans more than the club itself. We're the one that you find time to interact with the fans, get some people to become Chelsea fans. So why be selfish? We have to help each other whenever we can. And I can't thank you enough also for always finding the time to come on to a Chelsea perspective to help during our live shows. So thank you too.
thank you, Coach. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you, our viewers. Thank you, our fans. First of all, if you are watching us and you are yet to subscribe, please like the video and kindly subscribe to help the channel grow. Yeah, Coach, this morning we just want to quickly look at our injured players. And the
Yeah.
first person we'll be looking at is one man that has really spent more time in the hospital than playing, and is nobody but Wesley Fofana. He has a knee injury. The detail of his injury says it's not his return date is not certain, but the potential return date is third day of third day. It was okay. It was 6th day of March, but right now the status is ruled out. So, what's your view about Wesley Fofana? Do you really think we miss him in the team?
I would say we haven't. We haven't missed him, and if I were the manager, or let me say the hierarchy or the club as a whole, I don't think it makes sense to risk him this season. I'd say let him sit it out, recover fully, because the most important thing is to return, stay fit, and remain fit. You can say regain fitness, and maybe say how do I phrase it correctly? The most important thing is for him to return and stay fit, and not return and then play half a game and get injured again. So I don't think it make any sort of sense to stop playing him once it comes back. I think, in my opinion, I think the club will probably most likely not risk him, and it will make sense if they don't. I still have high hopes of him. He's an excellent player, excellent ball carrier. He has pace, uh, good on the ball, has good passing range, and he can drive with the ball from the defensive area to the midfield, even to the opposition area. I know it's not good, and it can be painful to see a player we paid that much money for to sit it out during games week in, week out. He comes back, plays a few minutes, and boom, gets injured again. I haven't given up on him, and that's because he's still very young. At most 22, I think he's still 21. I'm not too sure, but at most he'd be 22 right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about that. Yeah, thank you. Because he would have been a very vital person in our backline. But so far so good. I think we are really doing well too with Desasi, Tiago, and what's his name, Badiashile. Though I haven't been impressed with his late errors, but I'm hoping that he will get his confidence back, because Badiashile was extremely intelligent last season. He was very calculative and very productive at the back line. He even comes up with goals at times. But I think he's just have one. He's just one of those down moments where some players just are low on confidence. But I'm hopeful that Badiashile will come back very strong. Yeah. And the next person is Romeo Lavia. Thigh injury. He was expected back on the 6th day of March as well. Now his condition is ruled out, probably for the rest of the season. What's your view about Romeo Lavia?
He's an excellent player, and Romeo Lavia is one player I would also say we haven't missed that much. And probably maybe because he hasn't played a lot for us. But here's the one thing about the reason I want him to start playing for us as soon as possible. But I would say don't we already know he's going to be out until the rest for the entirety of the remainder of the season of the games we have. He's an excellent player. Once he comes back, I think we'll see more of Moises Caicedo. That's because he has more to his games. We've seen him create two excellent chances with his defense splitting passes. He has that in him, and he's more of a defensive-minded player than Casado and Enzo Fernandez. He reads the game very well, and also of all the midfielders we have, he's you can say he's the most capable of beating the press, which means he's capable of connecting the defense and the midfield and the attack effectively without losing the ball. He has good close control, can shoot the ball very well. So once he comes back, I think, like as I've mentioned before, we will see more of Moises Caicedo, who can do more if he has the independence or maybe the freedom to venture more, to be wherever he deems fit on the pitch. So he's one player I like. And Badia Shile too. I know you didn't ask me about him. He's an intelligent defender, can read the game so well. The question is, will he stay fit? I'm not too concerned. That's because he has not been injured that much. Two occasions I get it, but I don't think that's enough sample size to say, yeah, he's injury prone. Those are two players I'd say we haven't missed that much, in my opinion. And something else I wanted to say about Badia Shile, if of all the defenders we have, I'd argue that he's the most equipped to take on the Thiago Silva mantle because of his intelligence, his ability to read the game very well, and how calm he can be on the ball, even under pressure. Yeah, that's it for me for those two players.
Yeah. So, do you think when Romeo Lavia comes back, who do you think might likely suffer among the attacking midfielders? Because definitely we might have to sacrifice somebody to accommodate him. That's to have him, Enzo, and Moses Caicedo play at the same time. Who who do
Honestly,
you think might lose his place?
yeah, Houston. If you ask a lot of most Chelsea fans this question, I think the player that comes to mind um, will be a Conor Gallagher. But here's something I want to say quickly. As long as Mauricio Pochettino is still our manager, um, seeing things from his perspective, you could argue from what we've seen so far, Conor Gallagher is this most important player, which means that the presence of Romeo Lavia, Enzo Fernandez, what's his name, Leslie Guchiku, doesn't decide, doesn't impact Conor Gallagher's chances of starting games. He's very unique. I
Yeah.
get it, he's not the most technically gifted, but except if one lives under the rock. But if you've been paying attention, he's the man that's most important player. And I don't think Romeo Lavia coming back will lead to him dropping off the starting 11. I think if anything, the manager will find a way to still accommodate him and drop
Yeah.
someone else from some other position, even if it means changing the structure to still accommodate Conor Gallagher. That's my opinion anyway. I just wanted to remind you, if you check, I know this is our first time here. If you check, I think that there's one comment or two in the comment sections you might want to highlight and read. I think I did see something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Willie Blessed. Says big up Coachella, big up Chelsea FC Jingles. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Willie Blessed. We
Big up, Willie
appreciate you.
Bless. Big up. Much
Yeah,
love
thank
to you,
you.
brother.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, much love to you. Thank you. Thank you. You see, yeah, Conor Gallagher is virtually one of our most productive players, and I observe
I
that he
mean, no
hasn't been
matter how
injured.
anybody sees it.
Yeah, he hasn't been injured. He's only been out due to maybe virus, and he came back much more than expected, like more than the expected. He came out earlier than the expected date, and he still came and played very well. The guy has been something else this season. I respect him a lot. He worked on himself, and I really loved him for the fact that people were dragging him then for not putting enough, but overall now he has become that guy that is like one of the backbone of the team. Yeah. Okay, next person we look at is Reece James. Reece James has a thigh injury. His return date is not really certain, but the potential return date is 27th of April, and is currently being assessed. So, what's your view? Reece James has been training on the grass for quite some time. Do you think there's possibility that he's going to come back? And then, what's your view about he coming back? Some people talk about, oh, what will happen to Malo Gusto when he returns? So, what's your view?
My view of the situation is this: I think we're blessed to have them both, and I don't think it makes sense to start debating which of the two players is better than the other, because they both play for Chelsea Football Club and they're both good. And something to bear in mind is that the manager has to find a way to make it work. He has to find a way, you can say, to keep both happy. Why is that important? And that's because those are two excellent footballers, and the two of them, you can say none of the players
Yeah,
is what the Chelsea fans call a backup player. Both are starters. A blessing in disguise, a good
yeah, that's
problem to
true. That's
have,
true.
a good
Yeah,
headache to have if you prefer. And the manager has to find a way to make it work by rotating the two players. If rotation wouldn't work because we don't have too many games to play for the rest of the season, then find a way to accommodate them both. We only have what you can say one traditional DM in Leslie Gachiku, and Reece James has played in the fulfilled the DM role before for Wigan Athletic. Maybe play him there until we have an ample amount of games to play. Then you can talk about rotation, because those players both are too good that if you don't play any of them as often as they want, they'd ask to leave. And the truth remains there will not be shortage of clubs looking to sign either of the two players. In the
and,
case of Gusto, I get it. He's still very young, but we have exposed him to the world. The world has seen him more than they've seen him in his former club. They've seen he can
yeah,
actually hold his own against the big boys in the Premier League and as such. So it's a good problem to have. I'm not too concerned about that, in my opinion. And
yeah,
as they say,
yeah,
availability is the best ability, which means that right now, given that James isn't fit, he's the better player of the two. It's simple logic, really.
yeah. Thank you very much. And I also think that both of them can be well utilized since this guy Malo Gusto has been tested on the left and he did very well. You can also have both of them play at the same time, with Malo on the left and Rich James on the right. It's going to be explosive having both of them playing at the same time on the pitch. It will bring
At
back
the same
that
time, but
memory
at the
of
same time, yeah, just quickly, if you don't mind, having both play at the same time is also a risk. That is no different from having all your eggs in one basket.
yeah, but I mean, maybe when you have some very big matches, it can be all the time, definitely. But like maybe you have some big
Mhm.
matches, both of them could play together. Like when you, yeah, but it won't be good to have them play every time at the same time, because something can happen to Reece, then who is going to cover for him, or something can happen to Malu, maybe a suspension or injury, and then who is going to cover for him. So rotation will probably be the best bet. But I was also just thinking that sometimes both of them can play together, but then rotating them will be very good. And that's why it's important for the team to be able to get into more competition, especially in Europe, so that players can have more avenues for rotation.
Yeah, rotation will be
Yeah,
key. Willie Bless, big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us here. Thank you so much. You can share the link on whatever social media platform that you have a presence, so more people can come join us. Go ahead, Jude. Sorry for
Yeah.
cutting you off. I just
No
wanted to
problem.
say
No
hello
problem.
to
Yeah,
Willie
thank you.
Blessed. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Big up with a bless. Yeah, thank you. So, okay. So the next person is Kani Chukwuemeka. You know, this guy, he surprised me a lot because the last time he was injured against Aston Villa, he scored a goal. He was injured. He couldn't finish the game. And then the next time he was coming to, he came back. He was so productive, like he wasn't injured. You know, and then suddenly he got injured again. Are we okay? He says his expected return date is 27th of April. He's still ruled out, but no, okay, he has a slight knock, but expected to be back for the game on Tuesday. I don't know if that is really realistic to expect him back on Tuesday, but how do you see this guy? Do you think he's injury prone? I don't know if that's the impression
I
because I
don't
was
know his record. Let me just check quickly. Uh,
thinking,
Well, something else I wanted to say, these days, if you tell me a Chelsea
okay,
player will come back in April 14th, I'd say, okay, expect the player back in September 2027. Of course, I'm being sarcastic, but you get my point. These days, you can't trust them. So let me quickly check here.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't trust them. Reece James was initially listed. His initial return date was March ending. Now we're seeing it has since been moved to April for some reason we do not know. So which is that has led to a lot of people believing
yeah,
that maybe the whole thing is down to the manager's approach to the game or training approach or regimen. I don't know what's the correct pronunciation there, but you get my point. So let me check Connie Chukwuemeka injury
yeah.
record. Um,
Yeah, welcome, Viv Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us. We have Viv Dennis and Willie Bless on the show. Big up to you. Thank you, Viv Dennis. Thank you, Willie Bless. I appreciate you
yeah,
guys for
Connie
staying up
Chukwuemeka
to join
injury
us.
record.
Please help us
Let me
share
go
the live
here.
stream.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here. Okay, Connie Chukwuemeka injury record. That's seriously extensive right now. What I'm seeing here. Yeah, give me a second. Let me see whether I have to check whether they're chained or whether just
Okay.
yeah. I'll read it out to you. Just give me a second here. Oh gosh, this is okay. There you go. I think I'll be better off bringing it to this window. No, not this one in particular. This is the window I'm looking for here. Okay, for Connie Chukwuemeka, in 22-23, he had a hamstring injury November 1st, 2022. From November 1st, 2022 to December 15th, 2022, he missed 4 games, was out for 44 days. And then 23-24, he had a new knee injury, missed days was from October 6, August 2023 to October. He missed 8 games in total. He had another knee injury again in 23-24. Missed dates. That is a setback. When he was supposed to return, something else happened. From October to December, he missed 18 games in total. And then he had a fitness issue, missed 7 days. And then also in 23-24 had an ankle issue, missed 26 days. And then the same year, the last one had a knock. He's missed 5 days. He's missed 2 games right now. So they're all changed since since November 2020. Yep. Since November 2021, 22 to the date he's missed, he's had 6 injuries. So it's concerning, in my opinion. But I don't know. I mean, we should be looking beyond the players' situation, individual players' situation, and start asking questions. What's going on here? Because I
Yeah.
think something isn't quite right. The fact that we've been averaging at least 7 players out injured since the start of the season.
And yeah, that's serious. And the guy too is extremely talented. He's very skillful, and he has a very good ball sense. A very good number 10, can play well as an 8, as number 10 as well. And some people are already saying that Nigeria should be looking at him
I mean,
since
if
we are a bit, since Nigeria is a
I'd
bit
take him.
deficient in that angle, in that position. Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah,
Honestly, I'd
so
take him.
yeah,
Is
because
willing to, yeah.
yeah. But I hope he gets back on time though, because I think he's really key in the team. I remember when we were under Potter, every time he played, he was really good. Even when the whole team was down on morale, he says stuff like he just trying to enjoy his football. He doesn't let any pressure come upon him and all that. So the next person is Christopher Nkunku, thigh injury. Um, he suffered another hamstring injury, and now in a few weeks he's expected to. They want to see how he's going to be in a few weeks. He has been doing recovery since Sunday. Potential return date is 15th of April. So what's your view about Nkuku?
I'm not sure what to make of his situation. He's a player I like so much, and unfortunately, in this case, you could argue
Yeah,
uh, there are enough cases that when you look at them, you'd say, yeah, he's injury prone. But I'm not going to jump to that conclusion yet. I'll give him time. He's so good that even at Leipzig, he was out for nearly, and you could say, half the season and more. And once he came back, he scored enough goals to help them do well. Um, my point is this: two things. I still don't want to believe he's injury prone, even though the numbers say otherwise. Numbers say, yeah, he is. You can say his record says yes, he's injury prone. I'm willing to give him time because he's a special talent, and hopefully we'll find a
yeah, he's
solution, lasting solution to the number of players you can say we have that that have reoccurring injuries. If we find a solution to that, then yeah, that will go a long way for us. In this case, once again, I'm not too sure what to make of it.
yeah. He came back from injury and still help. He still helped his team win the Bundesliga. Sorry, when he won the Bundesliga Golden Boot with 17 goals after
That
coming back from
that's
injury. So
reflective.
that's how talented.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
reflective of how good he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I hope he can get his form because he's actually 25 or 26 now, so he isn't that too young. So I hope he can stay fit and be on top of his game. Remember, he was even selected for the World Cup to represent France, but injury ruled him out. He couldn't make it at that time to the World Cup. So that's how good he
Contact
is for
injury
him to
though.
have
We have
made.
to let's be more specific. His the injury he sustained at the time was a contact injury.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So the next person is Levi Cowell. This guy he has played a lot of game this season. He cemented himself in the team. He was used as a left back at some point, and where he we realized that he wasn't really too good in that position. And then some people will criticize him, but people didn't take cognizance of the fact that he wasn't playing in a position that is comfortable to play. So I don't like to see him as a left back as well. What's your view about him? His expected potential return date is 15th of April as well. He said we only found out after the Brentford game. Yeah, we finished two, and he couldn't train. So it was after the okay. His problem is with his toe. Okay, toe. So
Yeah.
what's your view?
In this case, I have no fears at all. It's not like he's been injured. You can say week in week out. Or you can say he hasn't had too many injuries. So I'm not. He's one. He can say I just want him to come back. He's an important player for us. Because yeah, he's proven that he can actually fulfill the left back role, but maybe not you can say as effectively as Ben Chilwell or maybe
Yeah,
Marco Correa. But at
yeah,
the same time, we have to respect him for you can say he did relatively well in that position. He wasn't perfect, but at least he held the position for us in the absence of Kukurea and Ben Chilwell. So I just want him back. I'm not too concerned about his case. That's because probably that's the only time he's been injured since he joined. He returned from his loan spell at Brighton. So I'm not too concerned about him.
yeah, yeah. And I like him. I like his physicality. I like his work rate. So he tries to put in his best. I remember when he was in Brighton and he didn't want to come back. And later I had to listen to his interview where he said the former coach, Titi, never spoke to him and he felt at home at Brighton. So I just knew all what he wanted was enough game time. And of course, he's getting it and he's very comfortable at Chelsea. And he looks like one of the players that will be the leaders of tomorrow in the team. Um, the next person to look at is okay on the list is Malo Gusto. Though he's on his illness, he had a virus and is expected to be fit enough for today's game. His fitness level, his condition is assessed and pass fit, and the status is available 100%. So hopefully he's going to make the game today and fit in the right back. So we talked about him earlier on as a very good and fantastic player. We won't waste too much time on him since it says that he looks fit from the virus. So we just go to Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell, like some people, some English content creator love to call him Benjamin Flipping Chilwell. So he got a knock in his ankle, sorry, in his knee, sorry. He was all right to train, and now they are expecting to see if he can be fit for today's game. So, what's your that will depend on the late fitness test. So, what's your view about him?
I don't think he plays. I think Kukurea starts. I think Ben Chilwell maybe, if anything, at most, he will be on the bench. But I don't think he starts. That's because the manager
Yeah,
wouldn't want to risk it as long as Kukurea is
yeah,
fully fit. And by the way, Kukurea didn't travel, so that gives him an edge in the selection process over Ben Chilwell. So, and also, if we're being truthful
that's
here,
true.
simple
Yeah,
logic,
that's true.
it does.
Yeah,
It wouldn't make
that's
sense,
true.
yeah, it wouldn't make sense to start Ben Chilwell if he's carrying a knock. Just start the guy that's fully fit. No, actually, Kukurea traveled. Actually, I think I heard he traveled. He did play for Spain. It was Tabejo that reminded me that. So, but I think let's go with the logic that yeah, he's fit. He's not
Okay.
struggling with any knock. But Ben Chilwell is. So why risk Ben Chilwell? So I think at most Ben Chilwell will be on the bench today, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Okay, quickly we'll go to our World Cup superstar, Enzo Fernandez. He too had a late arrival and he's expected to face a late fitness test, but I'm not expecting him to feature those. So what's your view about him too? How do you assess him in general?
I don't expect him to feature too. That's a lot of travel. And he played. When was the last game he played? I think Tabejo did talk about the last time he played also a few days ago, and did not. Is he even back? I think he came back yesterday or so.
Yes.
It's not like we're lacking numbers in that. I get it that he's very unique, but I think Kasade can actually play. Um, I think we have good you could say we have good enough players to play in his absence. I don't think it makes sense to play a player that probably not fully fit after the travels and all that jet lag and all that. I don't expect him to start. If it
Yeah.
starts, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I agree with you. We need to start giving Casade game time. He needs it to develop because there's a very good player in him. He wasn't doing bad at Leicester City. We brought him back, and we need to start. The coach needs to start trusting him because I see him as somebody who is ready to prove himself. Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
okay, we move to Leslie or Gochuku. Trying to rush because it's almost time for so that you could have a little bit of time to prepare for your live show. So let's look at Chuku. He has a thigh injury. And then another further detail says he also had hamstring strain. So potential return date is not known. Condition currently being assessed. Status ruled out. So if he's currently being assessed, does that mean that there's possibility of him being able to return before the end of the season? What do you think? What do you think about him?
Yeah, that could be his return. You can say that could be interpreted as a few days. If they are currently being assessed, which means they're assessing his fitness, not really the injury. Because I remember seeing the status of injury on Fort Mob as I think he read at the time. He read a few days. I think it was actually yesterday. And here's why I'd like him to come back as soon as possible. He's the only traditional DM we have right now. Every other player that you've seen fulfill the DM role is
Yes.
either usually was never a DM, an eight who's capable of fulfilling the DM role. You can say the same of Moses Casado. Conor Gallagher was never a DM. Even Romeo Lavia is more of a CM than a DM, but his ball winning ratio, you can say, gives him the upper hand, and his ability to beat the press. If he guys in the team that plays out from the back makes him, you can say, a good fit for that role. But he's not. He was, from my opinion, he's not traditional at DM. So Leslie, I want him back as soon as possible. But at the same time, I wouldn't want us to rush him back because we're seeing that it just seems as if there's a pattern to how we manage the recovery for our players. Where it just seems as if we call them back, we bring them back into the fold prematurely, and that has led to them suffering the setback again. Too many examples. Nkunku, Leslie Ugochukwu, Reece James, even who again? I think let's go with that three. Actually, those are three.
Yeah, yeah. So the next person is Robert Sanchez. He's undergoing rehabilitation. Potential return date is not known. Status for now is ruled out. Yeah, I'm just wondering what happened to Sanchez. He came, he played one game, and okay, maybe two games. Yeah, two games. Yeah, so a cup game. Was it two games or two cup games? He didn't
Uh, I
play a
can't quite
Premier League
remember,
game
but
though.
at least he
So I'm
played one
wondering
full.
how did he. Yeah, that
I'm
was
not sure.
FA
I'm
Cup,
not
you
sure
know.
what to make of his situation, and at the same time, I'm not wishing him bad, but I just hope let him take his time to recover. That I'm being sarcastic anyway. That's because I want Petrovic to remain our number one in all the games.
All the games.
But I don't think it'd be nice to wish him bad. I want him to recover. The truth remains, I'm not sure what to make of his case. As a goalkeeper, goalkeepers don't get injured that often. Given my understanding of the game and what has happened, I don't know. And it didn't happen during a game during one of our games. It happened. I'm not sure how. Nobody has told us how it happened. Um, Let me just leave it at I'm not too sure what to make of Robert Sanchez's situation. It's a bit confusing to me,
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
But
We,
that
we
also
wish him
shows you
good.
that aligns with the argument I made before that something isn't quite right. We've had too many you can say too many cases of players returning from injury and then getting injured just a few days later. So something isn't quite right. I think it needs to be investigated.
Imagine even Bettinelli got injured without playing games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last person on the list is Trevor Chalova. Although it says he's undergoing rehabilitation, no potential return date is ruled out for now. Do you think his recent game time is due to getting him ready for the market? Because this guy had been forgotten for quite some time, or probably because there's no one to fulfill that role. Even though we have Alfie Gilchrist, Alfie Gilchrist is there to fulfill the role, but the coach decided to give him a chance. What's your view?
No, I think we played him out of necessity, really. The man didn't just play him because we wanted to sell him.
Okay.
No, we played him out. We needed him. He played at the time where we had two of the, you could say, two of the players ahead of him in the pecking order out injured in Thiago Silva and Benoit Badiashile. And so that led to him getting the opportunity to play. And I think there's a good player in him. He differs. He's very different from the other defenders. He's a no-nonsense defender, but the others probably, you can say the others are more flamboyant from our view, more flamboyant, better on the ball. But if you have to mix it up, but he's more aggressive than maybe not as aggressive as the CC or as maybe as physical as the CC, but he's very different. So I really would like the club to keep him, but it's up to him. If he does really, really well, chances are he stays beyond beyond this season. But it's difficult to see that happen. So, but overall, going back to my point, we played him out of necessity, not really because we wanted to sell him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you very much for making that clear. Willie Bless says Sanchez's situation is confusing because he knows he can't have the number one spot ahead of Petrovic. Yeah, I'm thinking yeah, of course, everybody believes Petrovic is better, even though he has a better physique, he's a taller guy, but he makes too much errors, and Petrovic is far more composed.
You could argue Petrovic comes across as the more confident of the two
much.
players.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, without any doubt. Yeah. Thank you so much, Coach, for coming to join us for this live show. It's our first live show, and it means a lot to me. And then Willie Bless, thank you so much for coming on board. Viv Daniels, thank you for coming on board as well. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your likes. Please, if you come up and come across the video, please help to like the video. We've been pushing out some YouTube shorts, and we've been getting some remarkable number of views. Please, as much as you enjoy the shorts, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and like the videos. Thank you so much, Coach. It's you're going live in about 20 minutes, so I'm really grateful to you. I can't thank you enough for making it to be here and for everything you put in to make this live show a reality. A big thank you to you. Thank you once again, Willie Bless. Thank you once again, Viv Daniels, for coming on the show and for making your contributions. Is there anything you want to say, Coach, before we round up?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. Hopefully, I hope to do more with you. I really do want to help your community grow. You're doing well. You know the game, and I like to listen to you talk football. And the most important thing is that you don't take anything personal. You understand that everybody's opinion matters. That's key to being a content creator. Don't alienate any portion of your followers because they don't agree with you. They're not there to agree with you. They're actually there to disagree with you, if anything. They are there to have a conversation with you. This is what I think, and you present what I think, and then we learn from each other. If we don't agree, we move on. So thank you once again, and I hope to be here again soon.
Yeah, yeah. I thank you very much. And one thing I've learned is it's a society where everybody has the same view. Something is wrong. We must
Oh
always
yeah.
have different views. And yeah.
Oh
Thank
yeah.
you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much,
More
Coach.
thanks to you.
Yeah, do have a lovely day. So I'll join
You
you
too. All right. Bye.
very soon. Yeah, thank you. God bless you. Yeah. Thank you.